Okay, we are now on to the debate part of the podcast, and this is one sent in by Henry. Shout out to Henry. You know you're listening. Thank you for this idea. It's absolutely great. So what we're doing now is we are creating a list, and I've got 16 defenders here, the best centre-backs of all time, and we're going to whittle it down by doing a round of 16, knock out one versus another to get the greatest centre-back of all time. We are going to make the decision on this very podcast, and that is final, period. And officially, they are crowned the greatest defender of all time.
In the 21st century.
Yeah, in the 21st century. Because don't get in the comments telling me, oh, Koeman's great, Beckenbauer. There's no one who's listening to this podcast that ever saw them play. Don't even lie. I'll look at the stats. I know there isn't anyone that old listening. But what I'll do is I'll ask Si a number, and then I'll ask Joe a number, and then those two players that we find will battle it out and then through to the next round. So we might get some big hitters in straight away, but I say that, they're all big hitters, let's be honest. So, Si, pick us a number.
Number 1.
Number 1, Gerard Piqué. Mm-hmm. Joe?
I'll go 16. Top v bottom.
Okay then. So our first battle is Gerard Piqué versus Van Dijk. Who is the better defender?
This is easy for me. By the way, before I even say, did you see Piqué the other day in Champions League? When the ball got crossed over, arms out, it's all fine, and then the striker ran straight through and scored. It was like, your time's come, Piqué. Your time's come.
Has that swayed your decision?
Yeah, it did. It did really. I've never been the biggest fan of Piqué.
Have you not?
I think because Barcelona have been so good for years, he's never had to defend much, and it's made him look better than he really is.
Oh my word! He's been one of the best centre halves the past 15 years.
I never thought in any defensive partnership he's been the better defender of the partnership.
That's because he's complemented so many good defenders as well.
I just think Virgil van Dijk's clear of Piqué.
I'd agree.
I really do.
But I think you can't slander Piqué that much.
I don't think he's been as good as people think he is. I really don't. I think against a different team, he'd have been really found out.
Oh man, I'd agree. I'd go Van Dijk. I think if you tick boxes of what you wanted centre halves to be, I think it'd be very close to being Virgil van Dijk.
Yeah, I probably would agree with that. Yeah,
that's easy.
It's because I think it's because he's just as a modern day centre back, he's just like revolutionised the position, hasn't he?
He has, yeah.
He's done everything that we talk about, all the great things that defenders have done, but he just seems to excel. I'm not saying he's the greatest defender of all time.
No, same.
But we've never seen someone so complete in the Premier League.
Yeah. I mean, the way he plays the ball and his pace and his power, and he reads the game, and like he hardly ever goes to ground, does he? It's brilliant.
And even Troy Deeney says it smells great.
Oh, so he's great then.
Yeah.
He's great. Okay then, so Virgil van Dijk is through to the round of 8. Joe, I'm going to ask you first this time.
Number 5.
Number 5.
Top centre half's number.
John Terry, and then Si.
Partnership number 6.
Oh.
So the next centre back battle is John Terry versus Rio Ferdinand.
Oh, get him.
Who is the better defender?
I've said publicly a few times that I prefer Rio Ferdinand.
Oh wow. John Terry for me is the best centre half of all time.
Of all time?
Yeah, in my lifetime.
So you've already answered the whole quiz.
No, but
as far as with the pairings, it won't happen, will it? But for John Terry is my personal favourite. Him or probably someone else to the list. But Terry, he's both-footed. He'll run through a brick wall for you. He reads the game unbelievably well. He's complete, absolutely complete.
I would have to agree with Joe on this. I think Ferdinand was at points quite error prone, whereas John Terry he was at the top level and he never really ever fell off, did he? We talk about. I remember when I look at Ferdinand, I think of his time at QPR towards the end, and you saw how much he relied on his pace and things like that.
Terry wasn't great at the end of his Chelsea career either, or Villa.
But
got to a playoff semi-final.
I still
in the
think
Championship.
But I still think he was great.
Rio Ferdinand was still at least in the Premier League.
But I'm saying that you could see he didn't just rely on his pace to help him with errors and things, whereas John Terry was just a complete defender. And again, we talked about Virgil van Dijk's passing range. John Terry was absolutely brilliant, as you said, with both feet.
So was Ferdinand.
Not on Terry's level. He could spray the ball with his left, his right.
I just prefer watching Ferdinand to John Terry. I really did.
Well, I'm sorry, we're a democracy on here. We're all about fair play, and it's 2v1, so that's why
I
I
knew
made
the
sure.
answer as soon as you said the two. I always know I'm the one out who preferred Ferdinand.
No, I know you are.
Viva JT.
So soon as I started reading it out, I was thinking, I know where both of these two are going to go. That was a great pairing, that is.
Yeah.
Oh, okay then.
What could it have been?
Si, what would you like to?
We'll go 8.
Number 8, Bonucci. Joe.
Number 11.
Okay, so the next centre back pairing, the next centre back battle is Bonucci versus Sergio Ramos.
Ooh, that's fairly easy for me.
Oh, I think it's easy.
Yeah, I think Sergio Ramos.
Yeah, absolutely.
One of the most decorated centre-halves of all time. And one of the best goal-scoring centre-halves of all time. Ridiculous.
Oh, his goal-scoring record's insane,
It's outrageous, isn't it?
He's got so many goals for Real Madrid before. Yeah, he scored great penalties as well.
I do feel like we have just kind of just pushed Bonucci aside here, but he's a great defender as well.
Yeah.
And he has done amazing things, but I don't think he's on Ramos's level. Talk about Ramos as one of the greats, let's be honest.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think Bonucci's proper old school, whereas Ramos is another one who sort of revolutionised centre half at the time. Towards the late noughties and going through the tens, he was the main man.
Yeah.
When you think about how he was originally, was it right back, wasn't he? Originally
Yeah,
converted
from
over,
Seville.
didn't he?
Yeah.
It's crazy to think that he originally wasn't I could never imagine him looking back now at the way he's gone on playing as a centre back. I can't imagine him playing right back.
No.
And I watch it back. I've seen clips and things. I remember him playing right back, but you just think doesn't seem right, does
Yeah.
it?
He displaced Salgado, didn't he? Salgado.
Yeah.
That's his name, wasn't it? I'm going to say Soldado. That's a striker.
That's who I thought you said at the start.
Yeah, no, Salgado. Yeah.
Salgado. Blackburn Rebels legend.
How's he got a shout out in this?
I know. Sorry. Yeah.
I love it. No,
That's
I
how
love,
Ramos got into Real Madrid side and then just got better and better at centre half. So
I love it. I love it when we do that. When we have like really random niche shouts of players in this podcast, and we think,
Love
how on
it.
earth have they
Streaks
got
I'll
a
never
mention?
forget.
Exactly. Okay, then so Ramos has got through to the
Yeah.
round of 8. Joe, is it you this time first? I was trying to mix it up and I've completely forgotten what order, so I'm going to ask you first anyway.
I'm trying to remember what numbers we've had. Number 14.
Number 14. Okay. Yep.
we had 2.
And we haven't had 2, so we've got Vincent Kompany versus Carvalho. Who was a better defender?
Oh. Cannavaro for me.
Carvalho.
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 Oh,
Sorry.
Carvalho.
Did I say Carvalho?
I don't know. Is it Cannavaro?
Yeah, you said Carvalho.
Did you?
Carvalho. I can't say it. Carvalho.
I knew he won't.
Should we try that again?
Reminds me of you with, was it you with Saha? Was it that episode back when we did Start Subcell and you got Suarez and Saha mixed up Louis
I
Saha?
was certain he said Saha. I still am.
So we're definitely keeping that in. But it's Carvalho versus Kompany.
Oh, okay.
Company.
I think this is quite close in terms of
Yeah.
actual centre half.
I think it's a really difficult one, this.
I think Company's obviously the man mountain leader that got City their first title. But Carvalho is one of the most underrated centre halves I think people talk about.
He was great for Chelsea, Real Madrid, and Porto.
Yeah.
I'd like to throw my shout in with this. I'd be tempted more so towards Carvalho. And I think we look at Kompany as well as we do, purely because how he was he revolutionised this Man City side and made them win things.
Yeah.
We saw him develop, didn't we? Because he came as a central defensive
Centre half,
mid.
Yeah. And we see how much he's improved that City side, and he grew with that City side to become one of the greatest sides in Premier League in English, and especially in our time as well. But I think Carvalho just did it for so long, didn't they?
Didn't Chelsea only concede about 15 goals that one season?
Yeah.
Like, that is absolutely daft.
John Terry, Carvalho, and Petr Cech.
Yeah.
And I feel like Gallas right back in.
Paulo Ferreira.
Paulo
First respect his
Ferreira.
name.
And yeah,
Ashley
was
Cole.
it Del Horno at left back that season, or was it?
Be Ashley Cole, wasn't
No, it was before Ashley Cole was there.
Was he?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was.
Ben.
Maybe Gas was left back then.
No, maybe. But if the centre half pairing was just colossal, and Carvalho was almost on John Terry's level all the way through.
It's mad as well, Carvalho was still playing for Portugal when they won the Euros recently. He was at 38, 39, and he was still doing very well, next to Jose Font.
It's tough, this is.
It's a really difficult one. Personally,
good,
I'm towards Carvalho for this one. That's mine. I'm going in with that.
I might have jumped the gun here, actually, thinking about it, saying Company, because now I'm thinking more and more about it. Carvalho was a good player, weren't he?
Yeah, you've got longevity with Companies, that's the only thing, isn't it?
He had leadership with Company. I don't think he had that Carvalho.
this is tough.
No, I'm going to stick with Company.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, so Joe's got the final vote. Who's like to send it through?
You know me and my red rose tinted specs, man. I'm going Ricardo Carvalho, I think.
I should have known.
nostalgia.
I absolutely love nostalgia.
That's why you're on this episode. As
Make
soon
me
as I
feel
knew.
all warm and fuzzy inside.
Oh, my childhood.
Okay, then, so we'll go on to the next one. We've got number 3, 4, 7, 9, 10, 12, 13, and 15. So I'll ask you, Si, first.
We'll get over with 13.
13, okay, and then Joe.
Number 4.
Oh, okay, this next centre-back battle for me is very easy. Cannavaro versus Nemanja Vidic.
Cannavaro or Carvalho? Or Vidic?
Yeah,
The easiest thing in the world this is.
I agree.
And it would have been for anyone who's going up against.
Sai, oh my word, Sai's face. Do you want to debate
I
this?
freaking love Vidic, man.
He's a fraud.
But,
Manny Vidic is a fraud.
But Cannavaro's Ballon d'Or winner, won a World Cup, was so good at Juventus.
And Madrid.
It really hurts me just to not say Vidic because I loved watching Vidic, but Cannavaro's better.
Absolutely, Fabio Cannavaro. Proper Italian centre.
I can't believe you had to even talk about Vidic there and how good he was.
But I've said before, I love watching Vidic. I thought he was a great defender.
I bet you enjoy watching his highlights.
But he didn't do it as long as Cannavaro as well, and Cannavaro's say World Cup winner.
And he never hit the heights that Cannavaro ever did either.
Vidic had a mistake in him every other game.
I don't think that's very harsh.
You got Ferdinand to sweep up behind him with all of his mistakes.
Got very,
Great
very
partnership, but he was
They
the ball,
were.
weren't he? With everything. Oh,
Yeah,
doesn't matter. Cannavaro wins this too.
Oh, this is why it's good, isn't it? 'Cause you just battle each other. Okay, then we've still got number 3, number 7, 9, 10, 12, and 15. So, Joe,
Number 3.
number 3. Do you know what? It's giving me a fake. You know when they're lifting the balls up. When you went number 3.
The Rod Stewart.
That's exactly. That's what sort of said off camera, wasn't it? Straight away.
Oh. I said we should have like a tumbler.
Okay, then.
I'll go with. I always shout about winning Gallas at number 10.
Like it.
Okay, so the next centre back battle is between Puyol and Yapstam. Who was the better defender?
Oh, that's quite tough because I was only still a kid when Stan was properly playing at his peak.
No, AC Milan, like the 04, obviously, it was still very, very good.
Then towards the end of his career, then though, wasn't he?
He was still very, very
He
good.
was still very good. Obviously, his peak was at United, wasn't it?
I think it is Stan. I thought Puyol was always on the wrong side too rash.
Just a passion merchant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel like a
That's
I feel
quite
like a
harsh.
12-year-old on Twitter. Oh, passion merchant. Passion merchant. Oh, huge W in the chat, boys, and all this. What am I saying? I've just become exactly what I said I never wanted to become. That's because the amount of DMs I get with
You know what
things
that is?
like
That's cap. Ratio.
Oh,
Cry more, Si, cry more. Oh my word, I can't believe I just said that. Oh, that's really
You
hurt.
fraud. You fraud.
Oh,
But then, sorry, just to go back to it.
I can't believe we just had that.
Just to rescue you.
Thank you.
Puyol was centre half at the peak of Spain's powers, like when they won the 3 major tournaments on the spin. That Barcelona side, he was crucial to alongside PK.
But again, same as PK, Barcelona was so good they didn't have to defend much, so you didn't really test the defending as much as other people have.
I love the way you're just like disregarding any Barcelona centre back, even the legends. They got didn't defend, not for me. Would you have had Vidic over
I'm being
Puyol?
incredibly critical because it's what we have to be with these world class defenders.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Would you have
I
Vidic
get it.
over Puyol?
Yeah, I would, yeah.
Would you?
Yeah, I would.
Vidic
Oh,
over
wow.
Puyol.
I would, man.
Blasphemy.
I loved Vidic,
I can tell. Vidic over Puyol.
That's outrageous.
This might be your last appearance on the pod after that. Jeez.
Had that a few times with him all, Matt. P45.
Side doesn't know ball. That's going to be the comments.
I've got stats. But I've got stats, so it's fine.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Can't beat size stats. So we all come to the agreement then.
I think so.
Puyol.
No.
What do you both think now?
I'm going to even it up and I'm going to go Puyol. I think it's too close to call
Really?
this. Yeah. I think it's too close.
I'm gonna have to go Puyol. Yeah, sorry. I'm gonna have to go Puyol.
Yeah.
I feel like it feels like I'm picking on Si, but I promise you I'm not Si. We're just disagreeing on absolutely everything.
I mean, Stan
so
was a
far.
machine, in fairness to him. I think Puyol just edges it for me.
He's one of the greats.
Even Fergie said it was his biggest mistake at United was selling Stan.
Really?
Yeah.
I've heard him. I've read that. His book's somewhere around here, but I did read that in his book actually. It's a good book.
Great book.
Would recommend.
Great book.
Okay then, so we've got 4 defenders left. So we've got 7, 9, 12 and 15. Si, would you like to go first?
Let's go 15.
15, okay, and Joe?
Vidic's number.
7.
Okay, so the next centre-back battle is between Chiellini and Hummels. Who was the better defender?
Ooh.
I really enjoyed Hummels, but it is Chiellini. If I had to pick between the two who I want my back line ahead of me as a goalkeeper, I want Chiellini.
Yeah, I'll go Chiellini.
I think a straight sweep, yeah.
Yeah.
I think again it's his passing. I think about Chiellini, some of the passes he's playing, those over the balls, and it's just everything. And he's been around for so long, And the
Yeah,
level
that's
he stayed
a
at.
big thing.
It's longevity, and I think again I do feel bad for Hummels, but I just don't think he's on his level.
He wasn't really. Was he at the top for so long, Hummels? Really?
Now, Hummels had a good 5-6 years between Dortmund and Munich. And then, going back to Dortmund, he hasn't exactly done a bad job at Dortmund since going back there, but he has dropped off a level, hasn't he? Whereas Keely's, he's top for 12, 13 years.
And the rest, probably. You think of their international careers, as well. Keely's probably got over 100 caps for Italy, and dragged them to beating us in, whatever it was, 2 years ago.
Literally dragged Saka.
Yeah. Yeah, literally. And the dark arts of defending, he mastered them.
Yeah.
As an Italian.
Definitely. Yeah, so I think we all agree now, Chiellini on that one, for definite. Okay then, so the final battle, and I'm looking forward to this one. You'll like this one, pure nostalgia. So our final centre-back battle is between Maldini and Nesta. Who was the better defender?
You're killing me.
Really? That's the last two?
That's the last two. Maldini versus Nesta.
Two of my favourites. They are proper.
I kept seeing them thinking, this is perfect.
Maldini and Nesta.
Italian
Probably one of the best partnerships ever.
Yeah.
So this is
two of the best defenders ever.
This is what we said would happen with this.
God.
With these, it will be one of the big boys has gone out in the first round.
I can't believe that.
What a horrible choice to make between the two.
I'll let you go first, Sam.
Don't make me go first.
Really, really hard.
I've asked you lot. I've asked you two, so one of you two.
Breaking my heart.
Oh my god.
There's definitely one of you. Both of you have got a feeling. You go with your gut. Your first thought.
My gut is telling me Paolo Maldini.
So is mine. But it really hurts. but Maldini.
I think less so as for me. It's less so as because of his, I know it's a centre half debate, but it's because he also moulded himself as a left back.
Same thing exactly. Because he had versatility.
He was that good. Yeah, he played
had.
two positions, and he never went to ground. And he was a centre half who said, "If I went to ground, I've made a mistake. I haven't read the game properly."
Oh, but Nesta was brilliant.
Both, they were just unbelievable, both of them.
It's such a horrible one, isn't it? Really, because they've both done so much for defenders and the game and progressive play and things like that. I'm just going to go. Well, it's 2 votes to Maldini, so we're going to have to go with Maldini. So I don't really have to give my opinion on
what
this.
were you going to say?
Come on. Splinters.
I obviously was going to say Maldini, obviously. I'll just go with the flow.
You got to think that Italian backline at the time, Maldini would be left back, Cannavaro, Nesta, probably was it Zambrotta right back. Oh, what a backline! That Buffon behind them as well.
Oh man,
no wonder they won the World Cup in 2006.
Yeah, unreal.
It's crazy.
Alessandro Nesta, I still love you.
Yeah,
King.
We've definitely
Please forgive me.
We've just lost a listener. Cheers, guys.
Mamma mia.
Super Mario in the corner.
Hey.
Wow.
Okay, now we're down to the final 8, and I've given new numbers for everyone, and we're going to go through it again and battle it down to the final 4. And it's going to get tough now. This is where it's going to get really horrible because we've already lost some big boys on the way. Nesta, I know you turned off already from the podcast, but we are sorry.
We still love you.
Okay then. So, Si, can you pick a number between 1 and 8?
1.
Number 1. Okay, and Joe?
Number 2.
Number 2. So our first battle is Virgil van Dijk versus Cannavaro. Who was the better defender?
Oh. They're two completely different defenders as well.
They are.
That's what makes it more difficult.
That's quite tough.
For me, and I'm not even got the nostalgia glasses on, I don't think it's a debate. I think Cannavaro for me, straight away. We're talking about we're talking about a Ballon d'Or winning centre-back right here. Achievements, won absolutely everything, part of one of the greatest back lines of all time, versus Virgil van Dijk.
Side note though, was it not easy to win a Ballon d'Or back then than it is now? Well,
I
it's been
don't
past
know.
15 years because it's been Ronaldo and Messi, hasn't it?
What
Past
year did he win it?
15
2006?
Yeah. After Ronaldinho, then the Messi.
Yes, you've still got Ronaldinho. You've still got Ronaldo. Oh, you've just got the start of Ronaldo.
Yeah, but this is before the 60 goals a season started happening.
But Virgil van Dijk still is playing, so he could still win it now. But he's kind of...
He's dropped off past year though, 2 years, hasn't he?
Yeah, and that's not even recency bias. I've just realised it did make me sound like I was just pushing Virgil van Dijk's side. As I said earlier, what he's done to centre backs again, he's taken it to another level and changed and revolutionised the position.
Was Cannavaro's height as good as Virgil van Dijk's height? And Virgil van Dijk's height was really good.
That's a good way of thinking about it, but I know it was very good, but I think Cannavaro's was better. As you just said, he was the best player on the planet.
Yeah.
As a centre back.
I'm happy to go Cannavaro.
I'm glad. Cannavaro then goes straight through.
That is really close though, in fairness, because Van Dijk is a monster. an absolute monster.
And you know what? Van Dijk is still playing for another. How old is he now? Late 20s.
Probably. Yeah.
He's probably got another 10 years in him anyway.
Oh,
Yeah.
easily.
And
Easily.
his legacy could get even better as it goes on.
What I find really interesting, we were talking about all these centre backs and players like Maldini and Nesta and players who never went to ground. That's what I think of with Virgil van Dijk straight away.
Yeah,
he doesn't go to ground, does he, at all? A great defender, and it's sad to see him go again. Hopefully, we haven't lost another listener. Love you, Virg. Okay, so our next one, Joe. Would you like to pick a number between 3 and 8?
Number 7.
Number 7 and Si.
8 then.
Number 7 versus number 8. So the next centre-back battle is between John Terry and Carlos Puyol.
John Terry.
And we've all gone John Terry very easily. And again, yeah, I completely agree. I think what John Terry had passing-wise, everything what we've spoken about, Puyol, passion merchant. I'm going to keep saying it now.
Puyol very, very good, and obviously his glittering career. But then so is Terry. He's won everything, hasn't he? So 2
great leaders.
Yeah,
2 great leaders. Give you that.
I just think Terry's better centre half.
Just Puyol's got some slander today.
Yeah, it's tough.
Sorry, Carlos.
Next one, I'm going to ask you first, Si, between 3 and 6, please. 6, Joe.
So I will go number 5. Get the partnership going again.
Lovely.
Oh my word! This is the big one. I did not want. This is the battle I didn't want to happen in this round.
Just the final,
no!
really.
This was for me. I thought this was going to be the final. Okay. Centre back battle between Paolo Maldini versus Sergio Ramos. Who was the better defender?
Ooh.
I thought this was going to be the final. I honestly did.
Ooh.
Wow.
Ooh.
It's such a difficult one. 2 great centre backs, and again, we speak about it for different reasons.
Completely different, yeah.
You couldn't. I don't think you could get any further, apart from each other. Wow. Oh my word! This is a difficult one.
It could be a long stunned silence.
Yeah.
Great for listening.
Oh yeah, great for listening. Whilst you're here, if you haven't already, please smash like and subscribe. Leave us a 5-star review whilst these guys are thinking.
It's a great assist there.
Okay.
Oh my god, this is unbelievable because Maldini made the game look so simple, but Ramos, I think. Do I even believe what I'm about to say? No, I don't. I've gone back at myself already. I'm going Ramos.
Oh.
I've gone Ramos. It might be a bit of a recency bias in there, but I just think I know both have been colossal.
Both
but
Champions
also,
Leagues,
Ramos has
World
won
Cups.
6 Champions Leagues. Maldini won 2, I think.
I think he won 2.
So what I'm going to do now?
Both big game players, but I think Ramos was a big game player, if that makes sense.
Ooh.
He definitely is a big game player. I'm going to do this now to sit on the fence, and I'm going to go in with Maldini just so we can leave Joe with the final decision.
That's why I keep going first.
That's what I was thinking. I need to get in before Joe does. So Joe, you've got the final decision here, and we need reasoning.
Got to be good reason as well.
Oh, I don't know if I can give football a reason. The reasoning I was giving, or was going to
was
give,
great hair.
Great, beautiful man.
From both of them, really.
This is a very nostalgic debate, and I love my Reds tinted specs, and Maldini was and is my favourite centre-half of all time.
Oh, really?
He is.
So
Absolutely
I
love
actually
the
think
bloke.
Ramos is my favourite centre-half of all time.
I think Ramos, the only thing that lets Ramos down is his discipline. The number of red cards.
I also like that a bit.
I like the feistiness about him, but the amount of times he's got sent off as a captain and as a centre-half, you can't have it. So for me, I'm going with Paolo Maldini.
Wow, that's it. It's big. Maldini's through to the final 4. Ramos didn't even make it to the final 4. Unlucky, mate. It's your fault for going to PSG.
Come on, 7 Champions Leagues by now.
Okay, and our next one. This is a good one actually. So our next and our final battle in the final 4. So our centre back battle is Chiellini versus Carvalho. Who was a better player? Chiellini, Carvalho. I think that's a great one actually.
That's really good.
I'm
Two who've been at the top for a long, long time.
going to go straight in. And I'm going to go straight in. I'm going to go Chiellini. Because Chiellini, for me, is my favourite centre-back of all time.
See?
I absolutely love him because he's got the dark arts, he's got the nice part of it, and then he's got the pass, and he's got absolutely everything you want as a defender, and he's got longevity.
Yeah.
As a career, a great player. So I'm going to go straight in and say Chiellini. For everything Carvalho's done, Chiellini for me. My vote in straight away. Oh, he's going next.
I'd go with Chiellini too.
Makes 3. So, yes,
Wow.
it's Chiellini.
It's a whitewash.
Oh,
It is.
it's a
I
difficult
just
one.
think he was a better defender overall.
Probably a better defender for longer as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas
Yeah.
Carvalho went to Madrid and obviously was still very good, but probably wasn't at his peak there. His peak was at Chelsea.
Yeah. And Porto.
Yeah.
Porto.
Okay then, so we've got down to the semi-final now, and I've given new numbers for everyone again.
Okay.
16.
So the final four. Joe, would you like to go first between 1 and 4?
I'll go number 4.
Okay, and Si.
Uno.
So we have got in our first centre-back battle of the final. So, centre-back battle, Chiellini versus Maldini. Who was the better defender?
Maldini. Straight in for me.
Yeah, I think Maldini probably was the best Italian defender there is.
Chiellini's close for me.
Very close.
I think he's actually a lot closer than you think.
I think it is close.
How many Italian defenders are in this? I just realised this.
Mate, the Italians are
defence.
gods. They're defending gods. As a centre half, like I used to play centre half, not very well,
Did you?
obviously. I was a centre half, yeah.
Okay.
So not very well.
Noted.
And you just grow up idolising like the Italian defenders, don't you? Growing up, they're brilliant.
Where's your Italian hair then?
Oh, I went for the Swedish look.
Did you?
Yeah.
The Melbourne.
Olaf Melberg, yeah.
Yeah.
And Larson.
Oh, what a boy! He's my favourite.
Oh, my favourite.
I do think though, when you look at it, I feel like as much as we've all agreed, I do think Chiellini's for me the second. Ignoring Nesta in this, he's the second best on this list.
And Cannavaro.
Yeah, I would.
Would you have Chiellini over Cannavaro?
For me, Chiellini over Cannavaro, yeah, definitely. I just think Chiellini for me, he's just got everything.
He has.
You talk about all the boxes you'd want to tick.
The only thing he didn't have was pace, but he read the game so well, like John
Yeah.
Terry did, I guess. So
He just made up for it with his reading of the game. But it's sad to see him go. Unlucky Chiellini, but Maldini has slotted in to the final. So the next battle, this is a good one. Next centre back battle is between John Tenny.
John Terry.
John Jenny.
And he's with the ball, John Terry.
I said that with such confidence as well.
John Jenny.
You sound like the crazy frog.
I did.
Ding ding. John Terry.
Okay, here we go. I'll try this one again. That's staying in for definite. Okay. So the next centre back battle is John Terry versus Cannavaro. And that for me, now this is a really difficult one.
They played a very similar time as
Really
well.
tough.
I'm going to go straight in, and this is going to seem really weird after the way I've been arguing everything, but I'm going to go John Terry. I feel really harsh saying it, and it's not even English bias here. I just think what he could do with the ball for me is what I absolutely love about him. I'm going to go in with John Terry as, for me, the better out of the two. Just simply down to his passing and reading the game.
Samuel.
I'm going Cannavaro then for Ballon d'Or.
So Joe's got to make the final decision.
Again?
You need to get him faster.
So close.
John Terry or
Oh,
Cannavaro.
Cannavaro.
Because you've got to make the final decision to get into the final as well.
World Cup winner or what you believe is the Premier League's best defender.
Fabio Cannavaro. Just. There's a hair's breadth in that.
It's close. I may have just said John Terry because I knew what you two were going to go with to make you look really awkward. Because Cannavaro's clear. I just did that just because I knew exactly what was going on here.
That's really tough.
I did, in my opinion, it's definitely Cannavaro. I was just doing that because I knew what you
Are
were
you
going to do.
backtracking yourself, are you?
No, I knew.
No, you're backtracking.
I went in straight away. Did you not notice what I was doing? I didn't want to have to make the final vote in that. I just thought if I get my vote in,
Yeah.
so I'll do the same. Okay then, so we're now into the final. Wow. Two big boys in the final.
And two godly Italians.
Yep. So,
Cannavaro wasn't that big. It was only 5'10".
so to decide now, the final two, officially the best two defenders according to us. Who was the better centre back? Paolo Maldini versus Cannavaro. Discuss. What an ending. Oh wow.
I'm actually going to go straight to him with Maldini.
I am too. And this is probably a bit easier than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
I think Maldini's the best Italian centre half of our lifetime.
But also best left back,
Yeah,
which does help us, doesn't it?
I think so.
Cannavaro's come so far. He's pushed all his
Falls
way
at the final
through.
hurdle.
He just falls at the final
There's
hurdle.
something about a left-footed centre half which is great to watch.
It's elegant, I
It
think.
is, isn't it? I don't know what it is. Like watching like Laporte right now is great to watch.
Yeah.
And
Sorry, how have you?
someone else.
Sorry, we've just gone Laporte. We've talked about some of the greatest centre. Laporte is great.
No, but you know, because he's a modern one, ain't he? There's not many modern left-footed centre-halves these days.
No.
There's one playing at the Baggies right now. He's converted. Eric Peters.
Do you want to want Maximilian
Oh,
Kilburn as well?
hold on.
I've done that on purpose because I knew I'd get a reaction out of you two.
Let's put some respect on these boys' names. Don't mention them in the same breath as Eric Peters. Oh my God.
What an ending. Oh, I had to do that.
Maximilian Kilburn.
I've just got really
Eric
hot
Peters.
Yeah,
And Maldini.
I'm so stuck in nostalgia. You just burst my bubble.
You're going to be going back with such an angry face now, driving home
Eric
after this.
Peters.
Eric Peters,
Max
Kilman.
Lars was left-footed, weren't he?
No, right footed.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
Oh, fair enough.
I can't think of any left footers off the top of my head now. I'm having a little moment here.
But that's probably why Maldini's at the top for
Chiellini.
me. We're talking about like looking elegant.
Okay.
I think that probably he didn't break a sweat at centre half. He made it look elegant, like an arse. But Cannavaro did everything else, just not quite as elegantly as Maldini did.
Yeah, Maldini again is one of the first names you think of, isn't it?
100%.
When I was doing this list, and I pretty much did my own list, and I just checked on the internet to see if I was missing anyone really obvious. And number one on most lists was Maldini.
Yeah.
Or Koeman, but I'm not doing, or Beckenbauer, and I'm not doing all of these. Like,
I think Maldini could have worn the same shirt first half and second half. Would have been clean,
And
sweat
the
free.
next week.
Yeah.
and you think he's been part of some of the greatest defensive backlines
For
of
years.
all time, yeah.
The Milan sides in the 90s. The Milan sides that won the Champions League with Ancelotti.
Yeah, because it's the longevity as well. From, what was David? Late 80s, going through to the 90s.
Probably was, yeah.
And into the noughties. Some boy.
Yeah.
And he's seen his power with some unbelievable greats.
Yeah.
But he's always been a mainstay in both the Italian side and the Milan side.
Yeah, and you look at the forwards he's played against in Europe and internationally across that's the span of his career.
Yeah.
He's faced all sorts and yeah, just came out on top in all of them probably.
Oh, definitely. One ending. Maldini, congratulations. You are officially the greatest centre-back of all time. And we can now say you are goated as a centre-back. The GOAT.
Jeez.
I know, I had to get it in just because, again, the 12-year-olds love it. It's what we do. It's what we do now. Passion merchants, goats, it's what we do.
What even is a passion merchant, man?
Just a passion
Collar
merchant. It's Collar Peel. Just pure passion. He's got nothing else, hasn't he?
Right.
Incredible.
No. What a great episode. Thanks, boys. I did really enjoy that.
Enjoyed
If you
that.
haven't already, guys, please do smash the like button and let us know if you are angry at any of these decisions, whether you are annoyed Ramos didn't make it any further, or Nesta not making it out the first round. There's some big names in here, didn't get it far at all. So, boys, cheers for that. Si, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Joe, thank you. And hopefully all of our
Pleasure as
teams
always.
win this week. And next week we're all happy.
Well, and tonight, yeah.
Big few going to the Villa.
Thank you guys for listening. As I said, please smash the like button. Please subscribe. And if you haven't already, 5-star review. Cheers.
Have.
BucketHatSam, over and out, baby.